how do you see the war between the other layer one players? Because obviously,
It's actually not all in Ethereum. It's about 80% Ethereum. Um, there's 95% in crypto because I've also got a position in carbon, which is the only other non-crypto trade I've got. But the other layer ones, it's really simple to me. I don't know why everybody gets in a big mess about this. It's really simple. Is okay. So Bitcoin is the least flexible in its current format. So if you want flexibility of smart contracts and ease of use, you go to Ethereum. That's great. Now, if you want cheaper fees or faster, you go to another layer one, Solana, Terra, Avalanche, etc. And they all have their place in the ecosystem, and that's fine. And it's not, I don't think the market is all about price or speed. It's all about network effects. Those chains are getting network effects. And I think Ethereum's dominance of the alternatives market, the non-Bitcoin market, will fall over time because the market's going to broaden out and find different use cases. It's like I was having an argument on Twitter last night about decentralization, but it's not decentralized enough for them. Nothing is compared to Bitcoin. But people will take trade-offs. Everybody does. Life is about a trade-off. And the trade-off is less decentralized equals faster and cheaper. And that equation is what it is, and you make your choice. And that means there will be people adopting some of these ecosystems.
do you see Ethereum flipping the Bitcoin's market cap?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, for sure, because one is the internet of value, and the other is a store of value, right? They're not the same things. The value of all of the mobile phone networks in the world is worth a lot more than gold. But nobody compares them. That's stupid. But people compare these things. Now, if in 10 years' time, Bitcoin has smart contracts, has cheap transactions, all of these things that Ethereum offers, then fine, that may change again. I don't think of it necessarily as a permanent flippening. Maybe something else happens. I have a completely open mind. But right now, if you look at the network effects and the speed of growth of the network, Ethereum will outperform. And eventually, it only has to outperform by 2x and it's done. And it's larger. Does that mean that Ethereum's won? No. They're two different things. It's ridiculous. And, and who knows if we look at that in 10 years' time? Could be something else. And I have no issue with that.
Let's cover a little the institutions that want a seat at the table, by how much they wanted to learn more about the crypto space.
They all want to learn more about the crypto space. They all understand that this is meaningful. They all understand that they need to learn a new skill set. You can't just go and hire people to do it because people don't want to go and work for institutions. So they have to retool people internally. They have to get approvals. They need to figure out what the hell do we do with custody? How do we want to think about this space? How do we allocate? So actually the way that most people did it was venture capital. That's why we've seen all the huge amounts, the tens of billions of VC money going into the space, because it was easy to do, because you could just put some money, give it to somebody else, and you didn't have to have a mark to market. So you didn't have to go to your investment committee and say, well, this is a 70 vol asset and it goes up and down a lot. So don't worry, it's had a 50% drawdown. You didn't have to do any of that. So that's why they did that. But the problem is it's pushed up valuations of VC. The next stage I'm seeing, I've even set up a fund of funds which invests in digital asset hedge funds, because that space, the secondary market, has had very little primary capital. So that will create enormous amounts of liquidity over time into the marketplace by investing into the hedge fund space. Others are trying to put it, just buy Bitcoin directly, Ethereum directly. My guess is they'll end up, more of them will look at vehicles as opposed to owning the direct, because it just gives them an easier way of getting it through their investment committee, getting it approved from their trustees, etc.